Hola, hola. Welcome to your class number 4. If you are here, it's because you want to learn Spanish from the scratch. So today we have to continue with the last class, with the last part of the class 3. So make sure that you have seen that video. The last class, we were doing characteristics for personality, characteristics for appearance. We also learn how to describe themes. And today we have to continue with the second topic, which is nationalities. This means that every time that I am talking about nationalities, I always need to use the verb ser. Always, always. I will not use the verb estar if I'm saying that someone or something is from a place, is from a country, a city, a neighborhood. Whenever someone is from a place, you will always use the verb ser. What we're going to do here is to learn a couple of countries because they will change from English to Spanish. So probably if you're asking, if you're talking with people and you ask them where are they from, you also need to understand where are they from. So we're going to do that, but also we want to focus in pronunciation. So I will teach you what are the most important changes for the pronunciation. Okay, we are going to start with some countries that they change from English to Spanish. For example, if you want to say United States, you would say like this: Estados Unidos. Estados Unidos. If we go to Europe and you want to say Spain, you would say España. España. If you want to say Italy, you will say Italia. Italia. France, you will say Francia. Francia. We're not going to do the whole word, of course, but a couple of them. Germany, you want to say Alemania. Alemania. England, you will say Inglaterra. Inglaterra. If you want to say, let me think in one more from Europe that will change a lot. I can't think, but well, let's add Portugal because the pronunciation here is gonna be a little bit more soft. So in English, you would say Portugal, but in Spanish, we say Portugal. Portugal. And what about this country? How do you guys think is gonna be the pronunciation for this one? This is gonna be ID. ID. Why? Because the H at the beginning, it doesn't have any sound. So that's why we are going to practice also the H at the beginning. Then we also will have this country, Uruguay. It's not Uruguay, it's Uruguay. Okay, that's because the U is super strong. So you want to say Uruguay. Okay, and what about my country? Argentina. It's not Argentina, but Argentina. So basically, what we want to focus here is in the pronunciation of the H, the vowels, and also pronunciation of the G. So let's do that. So for the H, we know that the H, we need to know that the H at the beginning, it doesn't have any sound. There is not sound for the H when I have it at the beginning, right? So, for example, I will give you here some specific examples. When you want to say brother, in Spanish, you say hermano. We don't say hermano, we say hermano. When you want to say beautiful, we say hermoso. Hermoso. Again, no H. So that's it. Basically, the H at the beginning, there is not sound. Okay, now for this country, in English, it's very common to say Uruguay, Uruguay. But in Spanish, the vowels are super strong. So that's because they changed the sound. So I'm gonna teach you the sound of the vowels, vocales in Spanish. Okay, so the sound of this letter is gonna be A. This one is E, E. This one is I, I. This one is O, not O, O like in English. It's O, super strong, O. And this one is U, U, not you, but U. Okay, so that's the most important thing is that you know how to pronounce the vowels and how to make the difference in English, because again, in English they sound pretty different. So that's why we don't say Uruguay, Uruguay. In Spanish, we say Uruguay, Uruguay. Great. Okay, guys, let's move now for the pronunciation of the G. So now, the G basically is going to be different depends on the vowel. I'm going to make it bigger. There. Okay, so depending on the vowel, the G is going to change. I will show you. So when you have G and A, in Spanish, the G is called he, right? He. So he and A, the sound here, it's super soft. See, so for example, as an example, cat, we say gato. Gato. You see the sounds comes from the throat like gato, but it's super soft. Gato. Okay, now the he and the e, the sound here is going to change and it's going to be a little bit more harsh. So there is a word in Spanish to say that something is super cold, like more than cold, and that one is like this, gélido. Gélido. See, here actually this letter is with the accent, but my keyboard, it doesn't allow me to put the accent, but it's like gélido. So you see here the difference. It's like this one is gato. It's super soft, gato. But this one is gélido, gélido. And the same is going to be with the G and the I, which is also harsh. So if you want to say, for example, sunflower, that one is going to be like this. Girasol, girasol, right? So yeah, that's the pronunciation for the G and for the I. For the GE, for the GI. Now, the G and the O is also super soft. So for example, I don't know, if you want to say like a government, you will say like this. Gobierno. Again, it's super soft. It's not like gobierno, but it's soft, like gobierno. See, there's like a minimal difference, but it's still there, the difference. Okay, and the G and the U is also soft. So, for example, if you want to say umbrella, in Spanish, you say paraguas, paraguas. So we can say that the only ones that are a little bit different are just the G and the E and the G and the I. They are a little bit different. So now that you start with Spanish, that you start learning a lot of different words, there is something else. There's something else that you need to know because it's going to be very common to find this type of words. Okay. So when you have the G and the E, yeah, and also the G and the I. Okay, the G and the E, the G and the I. But you see an U in the middle, like this. You have words like G-U-E, G-U-I. This means that you never have to pronounce, you don't have to pronounce the U here. You will not do that. What you will do is, if before, without the U in the middle, it was harsh, so now with the U in the middle, it's soft. And this one is the same. Without the U in the middle, it's harsh, like he, he. But now it's soft. So if you see, again, if you see a word with G-U-E, G-U-I, you never pronounce the U. You just avoid the U and you make a soft sound. For example, the word war in Spanish is guerra, guerra. A lot of people, they will read it and they will say, oh, guerra. No, it's just guerra. And then, for example, if I want to say guide, I will say guía, guía. So now I want you to hear the difference here. So this one is gélido, but this one is guerra. This one is girasol, but this one is guía. See, so it's very minimal, but it's still there. Okay, so that's it. That's the most important changes for the pronunciation. There's gonna be a specific video that I will do soon, where I will talk about each and every like change, even the most minimum ones, the changes for the pronunciation that we have in Spanish. But I would say that so far those are the most important ones. As long as you don't pronounce the H at the beginning, or that you make a good sound for the vowels in Spanish, or that you don't pronounce the U when you have this type of words. So you will be fine. Okay. So yes, guys, for the next class, we're going to continue with our plan. Today, we are done with the second topic, which is the nationalities. So far we have done characteristics and nationalities. And the next topic is going to be professions. See? Profesiones. Okay, guys, so remember, whenever you are talking about nationalities, you will need to use the verb ser. Okay, I hope that you enjoy this class. Don't forget to leave me a comment in case that this plan is working for you and that you like it. So yes, I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much and have a great day. Ciao, ciao.